And that approach, not alone does it allow us to share the necessary information, but the other thing it does is it gives us a picture of the areas covered where we have people and the areas where we don't have people, and we need to then go about trying to establish campaign groups in areas where the political organisations don't have a representation, etc. at the moment. So not alone does it allow us to share all the information, it also allows us to see where there are gaps that need to be plugged and need to be filled. As I suppose the next step then on from there is that as the public meetings are called in each area, and it's really important, as I've said earlier on, that they're not simply information meetings or giving out sessions. In fact, the structure for today's meeting is quite a good one in terms of the way to go about it. That what we do is at the first half of the meeting, you have your arguments against the tax, you have why we should be opposing this tax, and in the second half of the meeting, you get down to brass tacks about how are we going to organise the campaign in this area. And yet from that, you're trying to extract people, draw people in and get people involved in helping to build the campaign in their area. And from the initial public meeting, people should be looking for volunteers to start. The idea that has been put out is a non-payment pledge. So that it's effectively a petition, it's nothing more than a petition. It's nothing complicated about it. Whatever the person's name is, agree not to pay the household tax. We have that non-payment pledge, and from the initial public meetings, we looked for a group of volunteers to go off, start knocking on doors and asking people to sign up to that non-payment pledge. Now, what that will involve for those of us that have done it before is going along with people that have never done it before. Not just sitting at the meeting and say, who wants to do that? Oh, you, and you're the people I know, that we've done it before, come on, let's go and do it. But that the people who are sitting quietly need to be spoken to, urged and encouraged to do it, and supported by going with them and the first few times they do it, etc. This going around and doing the non-payment pledge, not alone is it a way of engaging with people who haven't come to the meeting, talking to them about the issue, in which then you'll get a very good feeling of the strength of feeling in the area, but you also, from those conversations that you'll have on doorsteps, will identify further people who will also be interested in getting involved as a result of the conversation that you have with them. And on that basis, the idea has also been put out that what we do is get a campaign newsletter put together that would, after that, on that initial tour around the houses, if you like, when you're going looking for signatures on the non-payment pledge, you have a copy of the campaign newsletter. Now, that can be a national one, it can be a national one adapted to local, etc. I'm going to pass around, there isn't enough copies for everybody in the audience, I'm afraid. This is just a mock-up of what's possible, okay? And this is just simply a number of articles that have been put together, and the layout of it is not any finished article, etc. It's just pulled together. But what we can do is there's work being done on the website. So we've actually two domain names, nowatertax.ie and nohouseholdtax.org. When they're properly established, one will lead to the other, basically. So whichever one you click on, you'll be led to. And up on the website, we can have as many articles as we can have templates for newsletters, templates for leaflets, so that a local campaign only needs to say, okay, I need to do a leaflet for a public meeting. All I need to do is write 100 words about where the meeting's on, drop it into that box, print it off. So I was laughing when Joe was talking earlier on about going back to the campaign in the 90s, and when Michael Taft mentioned Unite. When the water charge campaign first established itself, we had to go to Unite and ask them, could we have an office so that we could have a phone line? Right? Now we have all mobile phones. We have, what I mean is, it's so much easier to produce material now, and it's so much easier for local groups to adapt stuff that's produced at a national level, etc. So that I'll pass those around. I mean, and the key thing that the newsletter does is it takes the arguments, the sort of stuff that we've talked about in the first half of this meeting, gives them to people. So what's in this essentially is, it wouldn't be what we'd be putting on the front of it, because the front of it is specifically about a water tax, but water tax, it's not about conservation, it's about privatisation. There's an article on the arguments about it's only €100 a year, sure everyone can afford that, the sort of stuff that has been talked about earlier on in terms of the fact that not everybody can afford it. An article that titled "They Keep Attacking Us, Look What We've Already Paid," that goes through some of the various different attacks that have already been on us in terms of universal social charge, etc., that has happened. Alternative ways of getting the money. What about our oil and natural gas reserves is there? The wealthy still have the wealth. the figures from the central bank and central statistics office that show that there is still wealth in the country. And what should be on the front, this is your chance to fight back. Non-payment is the only way to defeat this unjust tax. It's just an example of what's possible, and I'll pass them around. There isn't, as I said, enough for everybody. But what we'll do is we'll put that up, a PDF of that up on the website, and people will be able to access it there, and you can read it. The articles are all actually on the website already. As I said, what we need to look to do then is using the website to produce a host of posters, leaflets, car stickers, lapel stickers, etc. Having them on the website and people are able to download them at local level. Or we might decide at a national level to produce a mass run of stuff. A couple of friends just in the last couple of days tried the idea, what can we do? A poster in everybody's window. So what we want to do is when you go and knock on the door, you get your non-payment pledge, you get your recruiting organisers, but you also want to generate a feeling in the community that everybody's not paying. That, you know, I'll be the odd one out if I pay this charge. That's what we can do between now and Christmas, is that we can actually, if we could get in every estate, in every community, in every town that we can organise in, posters up saying, I'm not paying, whatever it might be. These are just examples. They're not finished articles by any means. But there's lots of people in this room, I'd say, that have design skills and could design posters and stickers, etc. And I would ask if there is anybody that has particular design skills to make sure you give us your name and contact details before the end of the meeting. And that's a way in which you can contribute. So they're just examples. But if you can imagine in the run up to Christmas, before people even get the bills, that there's posters stuck up in every other window, that people are going around wearing a badge saying, I'm not paying, that they have car stickers saying, I'm not paying. Now you've generated a feeling that nobody's paying this bloody thing, so there's no need for me to pay it. And that's what's really, really important, because it is true the government are going to try to intimidate people into paying it. And they've said the legislation, as someone said earlier on, isn't finally finalised yet, but they're talking about the end of 3 months it'll go up by a tenner and go up another tenner every month or whatever. We need to generate the feeling in the community that can deal with that level of intimidation, which is unity being strength. We're all in this together. Everybody's on board, so I'd be a bit of an idiot, wouldn't I, to pay it. And that's what I think is a challenge for us, and I think it's something that we can do. We can do that, as I said, in terms of, so the initial stage is we have our posters, we have our newsletters, we have our people going around knocking door to door, and then in each area having a regular open meeting of the campaign. That's the decision-making body of the campaign for that area. So in other words, on your leaflet that you put in people's door or on the newsletter or whatever it's on, it says the campaign group in this area meets the second Tuesday of every month at 7 o'clock in the local community centre, or whatever it might be, whatever people choose at their local level. But that it's seen that this is the community's campaign. Anybody in the community can come along, get stuck in and get involved, and that the meetings are open and democratically run, and people are welcome to come along. As I say, in some ways it's simple, really simple. But if it's not done right, it won't happen. And it has to happen everywhere. So what I think that if we can do from here, if we can today, I mean, there's got to 200 people in this room today, and I think they're from 16 different counties. Somebody gave me the breakdown here. So we have the start today of something that's a national campaign. But we have the start if everybody that goes out of this room today puts the work into building it. And if we've 200 people here today, there's no reason why we can't have 400 people involved. So I'm proposing or suggesting that what we do from today, at the end of the meeting, following a discussion around strategies, etc., that we elect an interim coordinating group, steering group, call it what you will, that's going to be tasked with getting the campaign established in every area in this country. So that what we have to do is taking a similar approach to the way we looked at Dublin. Where are the areas where we know people? Get in touch with those people, say, get them in touch with each other, get them working on a campaign. And where are the areas where we don't know anybody? Well, what we'll have to do is ask some people from Cork to go to Tralee, for example, if necessary, ask some people from Waterford to take a trip up to Kilkenny, or whatever it might be, to stick up posters, do a meeting, whatever it might be. Kilkenny is already sorted, I see that. But I'm just throwing out examples. I mean, people will have to, as well as building the campaign in their own communities, be prepared to travel and try and help to establish the campaign in areas where we don't have people, so we are a truly genuine national campaign. And aiming then to come back here to a national, we're not here maybe somewhere twice the size of this, to a national conference in early in the new year, where non-payment is very firmly established as the basis of our campaign, where effectively nobody is paying the charge, and where then the next step we need to do is build the strategies, if you like. And it's not, I'm not saying we should leave this till then, but what we will need to focus on at that stage is building the strategies for defending non-payers. Because that's important, and it's important that when we go to meetings, we are able to answer questions like people asked earlier on, like what will happen if will it go on the bill, on the house, will it go on? I have a very simple answer to all of those questions. We're going to win. And when we win, it won't go anywhere. And that's, somebody earlier on asked, how do we approach political parties, and I think there was a reference to be made to Sinn Féin, who will advocate that they're against the charge, but won't say, don't pay it. We challenge them on the paucity of their ambition. Are they so pathetic in terms of their knowledge of the issue, that all they think it's possible to do is moan a bit? Because that's all it'll effectively be. Do they not trust that people can get together and organise and win? This isn't about saying we don't like the charge. This is about winning, and we need to set out very clearly from the start that that's what we're going to do. And if we get established in every area, we can bring to reality the slogan that unity is strength. And hopefully, I know that with the discussion that will happen here, people will throw out lots of different ideas about how to establish the campaign at local level, and we all work together and all build a campaign on that basis, we can be successful.